All right, let's move to Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie Irving, we out with they just won again tonight. They beat San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard, not Kawhi, but Kyrie Irving had 28 tonight. So he led all scores tonight, and I think that's interesting because I think Luka only had like 16, but he had his triple double. He had 16. He had the 10 rebounds. He had the double digit assists as well. So I think that's a good dynamic. I've been calling for them to make a decision on if you want to keep Luka at the point guard position, then it'll be kind of counterproductive to have him also be your primary scorer because you got another dominant scorer. And it'd be better if you say, I got these two great roles and I'm going to split it between my two great players. So you pick one. Do you want Luka to be off the ball and be your dominant scorer and let Kyrie Irving run the offense, or do you want it to be vice versa? You want Kyrie off the ball, be a dominant scorer, and let Luka run the offense. But to tell Kyrie Irving, hey, we go put your game on a shelf and we go let Luka be the point guard and the primary scorer and get all the assists and most of the shots, and then you just got to find your spots where you can get yours off too. I think that's worse for your offense. So I didn't watch the game because I was obviously recording, but I was looking at the stats while we were talking, and I noticed that Kyrie had 28 points and led them in scoring, and Luka had the assist and had 16 points. So I don't know if they purposely did that. I think that's dope. But we seen the game winner he hit against Denver, a left-handed runner just inside the three-point line. I want to play for you what Draymond Green said about it, and I'm going to say some stuff.
Kyrie Irving, you can't do anything to make it hard on him. Like you can't make the game tough for Kyrie. Like he's one of the best 3-point shooters. He's got one of the best mid-rangers, arguably, if not the best. He's arguably the best finisher in the NBA. He has floaters with either hand, as you can see by that. He can finish with either hand at the rim. Kyrie can also switch and shoot a mid-range jump shot with his left hand. Like, if you get him in a bad way in the air, he can actually just shoot it with, there's actually nothing you can do to stop Kyrie from scoring. You just try to do all you can to make him take a tough shot, and then you got to live with the results. But Kyrie Irving, the way he scores the basketball, the amount of things that he's capable of doing, unbelievable. I saw Damian Lillard tweet, Dame Dollar tweet, Kyrie Irving is the most skilled player in NBA history. And quite frankly, I'm not sure who can argue against that. And even if you want to argue against it, you got to argue your point. It's not just oh yeah, that person. No, you got to argue why. That's how skilled Kyrie Irving is. That dude, he got the game of basketball figured out. When it comes to playing with the basketball, he's got that figured out. All figured out. I mean, that shot, yes. To even attempt that shot, that's what I want y'all to understand. He went for that shot. This is Kyrie Irving. He can come off and bing bap and fade. He went for that shot. That to me is crazier than anything. He went for the run and hook with the left. Went for it. That's different, man. That's different, Kai.
So if you listening to that and that aired this morning, if you listen to that, he got to the part where he was like, the only person I can think of at the point guard position that can even be in that conversation with Kyrie is Steph Curry. He said he'll go with his guy. He said, I go with Steph, but other than that, you can't put nobody else above this guy, right? And I've always said that Steph and Kyrie Irving are on the same level. Now, as far as what they have achieved and their accolades, of course, Steph obviously blows them out of the water. He's got 2 MVPs. He's got 4 rings. and things of that nature, right? He's got the 3-point record. You know, he's doing a lot with what he's got, but he's been in a more stable situation. He's with the team that drafted him. He's with the core group of players that he gelled with and started winning with, and he's never changed from that, right? He's always kept that, So it's different from when you go from one team to another team to another team to another team. You're not able to build and get things stable. On top of you add all the other things on to Kyrie. But when you're judging a player by their game and saying this is the best I've seen, you can't start bringing into all these other circumstances or all these other not circumstances, but all these other attributes that are affected by outside circumstances, right? So we start talking about, oh, Kyrie Irving never done this. Well, the reason why he hasn't done it is because some outside circumstances. Oh, he tweeted something out, he missed the season. He decided not to take a vax, he missed the season. He got injured against the Bucks. They didn't make it to the finals when they should have. James Harden decided to leave. They got Ben Simmons. His back wouldn't let him play. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of different things that are going into why he's not being able to achieve some of the things that Steph have achieved. But that doesn't mean that Steph is just this much better than him. They're on the same level. Honestly, they are, right? So I say all that to say this. I'm not even going to go in the route of is Kyrie the most skilled player in NBA history. You can have that argument and that debate, and you can throw so many names in there. You can throw in Kyrie, you can throw in Pistol Pete, you can throw in a lot of different names, right? I don't think that's worth the conversation. But what I do want to do is I want to get back to the ringer. I want to get back to the ringer, and I want you to count how many point guards the ringer said is better than Kyrie Irving, right? So if we count Luka as a point guard, that's 1. SGA, that's 2. Right? Steph Curry, 3. Tyrese Halliburton, 4. Jalen Brunson, 5. Jamal Murray, 6. De'Aaron Fox, 7. Look at some of the players they saying is better than Kyrie. They're saying Sabonis is better than Kyrie. Bam is better than Kyrie. They're saying, you know what I mean? Look at some of these names, man. But what we got 7 point guards so far. Dame Lillard, 8 point guards. They're saying Wemby's better than him. They're saying Jaylen Brown's better. Cat is better. Brandon Ingram is better. Zion is better. Larry Markkinen is better than Kyrie. James Harden, 9 point guards, better than Kyrie. And then Trae Young, that's 10 point guards, better than Kyrie. And then we finally get to Kyrie, right? And why do they think 10 point guards is better than Kyrie? All right, they got these little, extremely online. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what extremely online mean. But they got a cell phone right there. So I guess they getting to the point about him tweeting Hebrews to Negroes out. Right. So that's part of his package. That's part of his bag. Look at everybody else's bag. Floor general, ball handling, pull up threat, flight risk. Right. Floor general, pull up threat, flight risk. I don't even know what flight risk means. Movement, shooter, spacer, finish. No, they're not putting anything negative on anybody's icons except Kyrie. Extremely online. Right. That is how you gonna take it this personal with this guy, right? Right. So let's get down to the second paragraph. Right. But the list of BS is still comically long. Irving missed more than half of the first 2 seasons in Brooklyn due to injury. Sat out for 3 months while refusing to get a COVID-19 vaccine, was suspended for promoting the anti-Semitic film, and then demanding a trade. It's almost refreshing when he's a pain in normal ways, like when he planted stories last offseason to create leverage for a new contract. Wow. This is what they got. He's just barely better than Tyrese Maxey, and they got Ja Morant down to, like, this is the most unprofessional BS I've ever seen. Like, you're gonna say this guy is the 11th best point guard, because of what he did off the court? Like how dumb can you be? Right? That is I mean, that's a load of BS, right? But anyway, here's my thing. I think Kyrie Irving is still the second best point guard in the league. No, I'm lying. I think SGA is the first best point guard. I think Steph is the second, and I think Kyrie Irving is the third best point guard in the league. SGA has risen to the top for me, especially being that he's 6'6" and he does it on the defensive end as well, and he got his team in the top seed right now. Well, what I think Denver's there now, but they're number 2 in the West, right? So you gotta respect that, right? So I would say Kyrie is number 3. I would say De'Aaron Fox is number 4. And the reason why I don't have Luka there, because I think Luka's a small forward. I don't count him as a point guard. So for me, it's SGA, Steph, Kyrie, De'Aaron Fox at 4, and then number 5 can be debated amongst Jamal Murray, and whoever else you want to debate with. Who's all left? Murray, Halliburton, and all of those guys, right? And Dame. But it's easily the top 3 is SGA, Steph, and Kyrie without a doubt, easy. And I'm ready to put Kyrie Irving in the top 5 discussion of all time. Right now, it's hard to put him there right now because greatness, when you say greatest, you have to add the accolades in there as well. And I need him to do a little bit more on the paperwork side, on the resume side, so it can be legit. But right now, he is a top 5 point guard that I ever seen play. Now he just needs to add that paper to it to make it all real, right? But yeah, he out of the point guards I ever seen play in my life, yeah, I got Stephon Marbury high, I got Kyrie Irving high, I got Steph Curry high, right? So and I don't have Westbrook as high as I have Kyrie and Stephon Marbury. I think Stephon Marbury and Kyrie is hands down better than Russell Westbrook. Hands down better than a lot of point guards that y'all think are the best, right? But Kyrie Irving is like that for me. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give Kyrie his flowers, and I'm gonna open it up, man. We got I say 10 minutes that we'll go with the phone call. So everybody's phone calls are gonna be 30 seconds, 45 seconds at the most. So keep it quick when you call, so we can get out of here in 10 minutes after about 3 or 4 phone calls. But yeah, call in and let me know what y'all think about these point guards. Caller from Ohio, cut YouTube off in the background.
Okay. Okay.
All right, what's up? What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I was looking at your rankings and everything. I would say that Kyrie is up there. I think Kyrie, as far as point guard and just player period, I think he's bring that excitement level, and he can do things like with both hands, and his layups, is like next level. But right now, if you say the top, who I think the top point guards are, I would still. I mean, SGS having a good season, and we're just going by who's having a good season and whatnot. You might want to put him first, but I wouldn't put him over Steph because the Warriors, Steph, they're playing for something different. SGA, he's a young player, so he's playing for MVPs and all that other stuff. Where the Warriors is just want to get to the playoffs and then prove what they can do once they get there.
Yikes! Well, slow down. Slow down. No, okay. I don't think because SGA is young, he playing for the MVP. Right? I think he playing for the real deal. He's number 2 in the league, man. I mean, his team is number 2 in the West, right? He's playing both ends of the floor. You can't say Steph and the Warriors are playing for something different, and that's the reason why they ain't at the top seed. They trash. They're not good. No. The Warriors aren't good. Right. The Warriors aren't good.
They're not okay. Yeah, I didn't mean that. That's why they're not in the one of the top seeds. No, I don't think as a team. No, they're not. I mean, yeah, they don't have the best team, but I'm saying if we're preparing, if we're the point guards as far as Steph and SGA, I think that I think as a team they're playing to get in and see what they can do there. I don't think they're thinking about seed and whatever. What I'm saying is a young guy like SGA, he's still on the up and coming. So he wants to win MVPs. He wants to win scoring titles. He wants to do that stuff, which he should do, which all players do at that stage of their career. But what I'm saying is that with Steph, he's not trying to do that. All he wants to do is get into the not even the play-in. He wants to get into the playoffs and then see what they do from there.
But that's not a good thing to bring up when we're talking about who's playing the best basketball right now. Right, right now, if we're trying to scout Steph and SGA to see who's playing the best basketball, I can't bring in why I think they're playing basketball good. I can't say the only reason why he's playing this good is because he want to win MVP and Steph just want to get in the playoffs. I can't say that, especially when Steph not even in the playoffs right now. He's in the play-in.
Right. Well, okay. Maybe I'm not make one thing. I'm not saying that that's the only reason why he's doing it. I'm saying is that
I think this is what you're doing. You're acknowledging that SGA is outplaying Steph, but in your mind you don't want to admit it, so you're making an excuse why he's outplaying Steph. Well, you should just say, yes, SGA is the best point guard in the league right now. He's outplaying Steph. And then put a period right there. You don't want to say it because what Steph has meant to the game prior to this. You don't want to call it like it is. But I say what I see. I say what I see. I'm about to help you out real quick. I'm about to help you be very objective and say what you see. Who's playing better basketball right now, SGA or Steph?
SGA.
All right. Hold on. Let's put a period there. And SGA is better than Steph right now. He's number one.
No, what I'm saying is, it's a lot of guys I think that's playing better than Steph, but I don't think they're better than Steph because a lot of guys are playing a way that they should be playing where they're at in their careers.
Right, but that's how you do a ranking though. You do a ranking based on who's playing the best.
Okay, but he's saying who's but I mean, I thought you were doing who's better. I mean, they've had. I
mean, he is better than Steph right now.
LeBron, they had LeBron.
Yeah, but he is. But he is better than Steph right now. Though. But he is better than Steph right. He's better than Steph. That's why he's playing better. He's better than him.
No, I don't think he's better than Steph. I think he's having. I think he's playing at a different level right now, and I think Steph don't care about who's playing the best. In the regular season, I think he's not playing that much better where you can say, oh, Steph has fell off. I'm saying he's having a better season as far as his team.
Right. And as a result,
he's 3 points and he's only 3 points ahead of him in scoring.
Right.
So I mean he's not
but his team is doing better.
But look, over him.
Yeah, but his team is winning and Steph is not. So I would say that I didn't get your name. What's your name again? Lamar. Okay. So I say this.
Yeah.
The results of Steph not caring, like you said, I just want to get in the playoffs. I'm not caring about my stats and stuff like that. The results of that is when they sit down and vote for first team All NBA, SGA is going to get more votes.
Yeah, I agree, and he should, should. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I don't think he's better than him, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, just like LeBron's been the best player forever, but LeBron's averaged 27 points, and you've had 3 or 4 guys, 5 or 6 guys ahead of him in scoring titles, with the scoring titles and MVPs, but we never say those guys are better than LeBron.
I do. LeBron hasn't been the best player in the league since the first year KD won MVP.
Well, okay. I mean, and you know what? And I like your opinion. I'm gonna tell you because I watch your show. I like your jacket, and I like that. I don't agree with everything, but I like that you keep it real, and I agree with enough that I feel like you got a good show. But I would say that most people would say that those people were saying LeBron, like when Harden won and nobody was saying Harden was the best player.
Of course
they
not.
were still saying other people was better than Harden.
Of course,
my point is Right, but so that's my point with Steph. People, even though SGA is having this season, nobody should really be saying he's better because we don't do that with nobody else. We didn't do that with Westbrook. Westbrook ain't never been the best player, but he led the league in scoring.
I agree. But
that's all I'm saying.
But that's not. But that's. But I don't have SGA. I don't have SGA as the best point guard in the league based on just his stats though. Like I'm actually watching him play and I'm like, yo, this dude's really good on both sides of the floor. This dude's a real leader. This dude can play off the ball as well as on the ball. This dude can play in the post. Like he can hit the three, he can hit the mid range, he can get in the paint. Like this dude can do it all at 6'6" as a point guard. He's the real deal.
Let me ask you, okay, so we got the regular season, we got the playoffs. In the playoffs, do you think it would be the same thing if when the playoff if they're in the playoffs, like they're in the play-in now, but if they're both in the playoffs, do you think the level, I mean, like he's slightly playing better because of his points in his team, but do you think it would be the same way where in the playoffs, people like him and a KD or whatever, they elevate their game? See, the other guys haven't proved that they're going to elevate when it comes to the playoff, where other people show that they elevate. So that's when you say who's going to get the vote for All NBA, yeah, it would be the guys that you named because this is a regular season award. But most of the guys who are veterans, they don't play. They play for the best seed they can get, and then they feel like they can beat anybody. So that's all I'm saying. But like I said, if you're going with the All NBA team, whatever, yeah, I would give it to some of the other guys. I would, who would get that award too. So, I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree 100%. Like we haven't seen SGA in the playoffs yet. He didn't make it last year. So, will he elevate his game in the playoffs? We don't know yet. However, I will say this. I have seen De'Aaron Fox in the playoffs, and he definitely elevated his game. And he outplayed Golden State and Steph. He guarded Steph on one. He guarded Steph on one end, and then bust his head on the other end with points. But the difference between
how he playing with Steph by 50 on him and they lost?
Yeah, in the game 7. But you gotta watch that game a little closely.
I watched the whole series, man.
Right.
Man, that last game, Steph looked like a gold trotter out there.
He did. Was Steph guarding Fox on the other end?
No,
he wasn't. So my thing is Fox was scoring. Wait. I don't want to mute. I don't want to mute you. Wait.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, that Kings series with the Warriors, the Kings were outplaying them, and I think the Golden State Warriors got a lot of help from the NBA. They're gonna get a lot of help this year as well in the playoffs. Like the Mavs are going to get a lot of help. That really exists in the NBA. That's a real thing. So when I judge players, I have to look past when I think a player is getting home cooking and getting help. I have to look past that and see beyond that. And what I seen is that if Steph and the Warriors did not get that help, they would have went home. Just like we seen when he went against the Lakers, they didn't give Steph the help. And guess what happened? The true Warriors showed up and they got swept by the Lakers. This is a Lakers team swept them. They got swept by Denver. So the Lakers team wasn't even all that good. And they swept Golden State. The Kings team had a better record. The Kings team had a better record. And they was outplaying the Warriors, and they were the better team, and they should have advanced. But the NBA did not want to see Golden State Warriors going home in the first round. That is the truth.
The Lakers didn't sweep the Warriors, though.
Huh?
The Lakers didn't sweep the Warriors.
What was it? A 4-1? Gentleman sweep?
4-2.
4-2?
4-2. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was wrong then. Wrong.
Lakers sweep. And let me say this: when you say the Warriors get help, Steph Curry don't get no calls.
Brother, stop it.
When you say help, I know you're not talking about Steph.
Brother, stop it. Stop it. Please stop.
Okay.
Please stop.
You always got the map up there. Pull up how many calls Steph get, how many fouls Steph get called on him a game.
That's not how you sniff out when the referees are helping. You have to watch the game to see.
I watch the game, but he don't get no calls.
Listen to what I'm saying. That's not how you sniff out when the refs are helping. You think it'd be that easy for them to be like, Steph got 30 foul shots tonight. The referees was on his side. That's not how they do it, right? It's strategic calls that show the defense how they're going to allow you to guard Steph and what they're not going to allow. And then once you start to, I call it hands off the merchandise. They call a ticky-tack foul here. Now you got a foul on Fox, and that's your best player. Guess what Fox got to do while he guarding Steph now? Hands off the merchandise. I got to play him fair. Now Steph can get his shots off. It's not how many times we put him on the free throw line all the time. It's based on the message they send to the defense and what they're going to allow and what they're not going to allow. Right? That's how they do it. It's not always free throws, brother. It's just how the referees strategically call fouls to set the tone on how because we all know this when we play when the referee is going to call the game different from game to game. And sometimes you get different referees that's leaning with fouls, and then some of them are ticky-tack foul, right? So what happens is when you come out and you play those first 3 to 4 minutes, and you see how they call the game, and that first time out you go to the bench, what we're saying as players is, hey, they letting us play, so let's play tight. Or you might go in and be like, hey, they calling that, man, we can't touch them tonight. So we know we gotta feel the referees out to see what they're gonna allow, and the referees drive that message home very early. And they let you know what you can't do to Steph and what you can do to him.
Well, I mean, okay, well, I would say this. You show me one time Steph got a ticky-tack foul.
Let's do this.
You show me one
let's
time
let's pull the game up. Let's pull the game up.
Show me a game where he's got a ticky-tack foul.
Plenty of games.
Not a ticky-tack. No, he don't even get blatant calls.
Plenty of games. You think Steph plenty of games.
Tell me one incident where he got a ticky-tack. No, he ain't never got no ticky-tack.
Never.
I watched the game. I've never seen him get a ticky-tack foul.
Man, y'all are delusional.
Okay, let me say. Did you watch the finals with Boston? Did you see him get knocked down twice and not get a foul?
Knocked down twice and not get a foul. Really?
Against Boston.
That's what you're doing?
Literally.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm saying when you talking about ticky-tack foul, and I'm talking about this guy gets hammered and don't get a foul. He don't get no ticky-tack foul. I pull up, go to the Boston game twice, and even the announcer said, "Well, he got knocked down foul on a 3-pointer which he made, and then I'm talking about knocked down. He don't get ticky-tack foul." And let me say this, because I don't want to hold your show up, but Steph Curry is the only player in history who's averaged more than 30 points who's got the less free throws. Fact. In history.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. For a player that shoot mostly 3-pointers, do you think he's gonna have the most free throws?
He gets fouled on his 3.
No, stop. No, I'm asking. For a player who shoot mostly 3-pointers, is he gonna get more foul shots than a player that's going to the hole?
Okay, what percentage do you think Steph shoots?
For a player that shoots mostly 3-pointers, do you think that he should get more foul shots than a player that's going to the hole?
His threes.
For a player that shoots mostly for a player that shoots mostly 3-pointers, do you think he should get more foul shots than a player that's going to the hole?
He does not shoot mostly 3s.
For a player that shoots mostly 3-pointers,
he does not shoot mostly 3s.
Does he shoot more 3? Does he shoot more 3-pointers than an average point guard?
He don't shoot more 3s than 2s.
Does he shoot more 3-pointers than an average point guard?
Look it up. Steph Curry does not shoot more 3s than 2. It's about even, but it's not more.
All right, he shoots a lot. Listen, I'm trying to run a show, sir. And when I ask a question, it'll be nice to get an answer. If I can't get an answer, I will have to bid you a good night. Let me ask you a question again. For a player that shoots mostly 3-pointers, do you think he should get the most foul shots in the league?
If he's getting fouled.
Do you think a player that shoots mostly 3-pointers should get more foul shots than anybody in the league?
I think any shot a person shoot, he should get if he's got foul.
Thank you, sir.
He should get the call.
Thank you, sir, and thanks for the phone call. Thank you.
Okay.
That's delusional. That's delusional. This man said Steph don't get no fouls. Lord have mercy. Steph don't get no foul calls. They literally let his co-star run around and tackle people in the finals. Caller, cut YouTube off so I can't hear the echo. Caller from Texas. What's up, man? What's your thoughts?
Hey, what's up? What's up going with him?
Man,
I see what you got going on.
Did you just hear the last conversation?
Well, I've seen a couple conversations I can't agree with. I'm telling you right now.
All right, let's see what you got.
Well, this is Homer from Austin. We talked one time before, but I'm sure you talked to a bunch of people. So
yeah, no, I remember you. I remember. Yeah, I remember you.
Man, Kyrie gets so much disrespect only because he has his own way of thinking. I just can't stand that.
Yeah.
And Steph gets all this love, and I don't blame Steph for getting love, but hey, man, you gotta hate on someone to love someone else. That's like one of the things. That's what the LeBron fans are trying to do with MJ.
Yeah.
Oh, the 90s were trash. Jordan didn't know how to go left, but LeBron knows what. I've been watching basketball for a long time. I'm 48 too. So like I've been watching basketball for a long time. It's been my favorite sport since I've been about 8 years old.
Right.
So I've never fell out of love with it. Well, there's been a few women I fell out of love with, but never basketball.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, well, why are we trying to trash old school, or why are we trying to trash someone else to build someone else up?
Yeah, you make a good point. I'm with you on that. You make a good point. But I honestly, I don't even like doing that. Like, you know, when I critique players, I try to critique and I try to be honest. I only get aggressive toward a false narrative. Like if false narratives didn't exist, I probably wouldn't even talk about.
Okay, let me. What last narrative that you got aggressive toward? False.
The one we just witnessed, that Kyrie Irving, or the one where we try to put Steph Curry in a echelon above where he actually belongs. Like we want Steph Curry in the Jordan echelon and the Kobe echelon. He don't belong there. But he did trick us.
Oh, hell no, he doesn't.
He doesn't belong.
I do like him. I do like him though.
Yeah, I like him too. But Kyrie don't belong in that echelon either. That echelon is, I mean, that's Bird, Magic, Kobe, Mike, possibly LeBron.
Well, possibly LeBron. I don't know.
Possibly. The verdict's still out for me. I think the echelon right under that is the Hakeem, Kyrie, Dirk, LeBron. I think LeBron is on that echelon.
You saw what Hakeem did to Shaq.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I know you've been watching basketball long enough. But I saw what Shaq did to other guys too, but no skill.
Yeah, Shaq had he had limited skill. He had enough skill to be considered somebody a skill player, but he didn't have top tier elite skill. But he did have top tier physical attributes, unmatched attributes. So that's all he needed. He didn't need that much skill. Hakeem did, because Hakeem wasn't physically imposing. So he did need to be highly skilled. Big difference, right? One had to work on his game a whole lot, and one just had to stay in shape.
Who went to go see Hakeem for footwork?
Almost everybody who needed post game.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard, he got slighted too. I think he should have been in the top 75.
I agree too. I agree.
That's just my opinion. But I just think that like the whole Kyrie thing, it's only because of his political agenda and what he said on social media and stuff. And I don't care about all that because everyone gets to have their own opinion.
Yeah.
We live in America.
But you know what? Before he even had that opinion, because the only reason why that opinion is getting overblown is because the media already had a dislike for Kyrie Irving. And that dislike happened for two reasons. For one, it started when he left Cleveland and left LeBron. People was mad at him for that. They had to invite him on ESPN to try to chastise him. He was on there with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, look it up after you get off the phone. Look up when Kyrie Irving had an interview with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, and they was chastising him for his decision to leave LeBron. The media was pissed. So once he left LeBron, he had a relationship with the media that was unhealthy. So while he was in Boston, they would continue to take jabs at him whenever they could. And then he lashed out at the media and said, y'all are peons. And he said, y'all are puppets and peons. And he was very snobbish to the media. And
but he's right.
Yeah, he was right. But now that started a war between him and the media. Stephen A. Smith and everybody who is associated with him, Mike Wilbon and all this, and then Rod Parker and Chris Bouchard, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp. They all were against Kyrie Irving for making that comment, but they also was against him for leaving LeBron. So now,
well, then on top of that, you pile on the anti-Semitic.
Correct.
Correct.
But it started from the other stuff.
I'm not even sure. What?
It started from the leaving Cleveland and leaving LeBron, because everything he did after that, they criticized. When he told Boston that he was going to resign, but he changed his mind and left to Brooklyn, they criticized that. When he went on the podcast and said he believed the earth is flat, they criticized him for that. Everything.
That was a good one.
But everything he did got overblown. And the funny thing about it is, when Kyrie Irving said the earth was flat, guess what? Not even 6 months after that, Steph Curry was on CJ McCollum's podcast, and he said he believed the moon landing was fake. And they chastised him on ESPN for that. But the difference between Steph and Kyrie is Kyrie bucked the system. Steph was like, "Oh shoot, I don't want no smoke." So he went on a tour to some NASA museum, and they showed him moon rocks, and he was holding moon rocks, and then he came back and made a public statement. Was like, "I was wrong. They did land on the moon." So he had to backpedal and back, because they was about to start treating him like Kyrie. Look all this stuff up.
They're both. I didn't know about Steph, but they're both smart players, cerebral, and I know that Steph's gonna go one way, and Kyrie's gonna go one way, because Kyrie's gonna be anti the system. Steph is gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta
correct
my the way I look."
Yeah, he's gonna stick with the status quo.
But I don't know. I just feel bad for. Well, I don't feel bad for Kyrie. The dude hit that left. You see that left hook over Jokic?
I seen it.
Good Lord.
I seen it, man.
Oh man, that wasn't even a hook. That was like a slash hook, running slash hook, push. I was like, man, the dude's awesome. I mean, he's not my favorite player ever, but he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's great.
I got all kinds of favorite players.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think that this league has a particular agenda that wants to like push certain players.
Exactly.
And still kind of wanting to see.
Right. And that's why, and that's why you have to have a trained eye, because basketball and the NBA is not synonymous, right? Everybody think that whatever my opinion is about basketball has to be through the lenses of the NBA. But that's not true, because the NBA supersedes. I mean, pure basketball supersedes the NBA, right? The NBA has a version of basketball, just like pure wrestling.
You mean pure basketball that was invented by a Canadian man?
Whatever you want to say. When you're talking about the basics of basketball and how basketball is supposed to be played, the pureness of the game, the nuance of the game. The NBA is not provide just because the NBA is giving us a version of basketball doesn't mean that that's the end all be all. It's something that supersedes the NBA. Just like pure wrestling is not represented by the WWE, just like pure Mexican food is not represented by Taco Bell, right?
Yeah, but did you hear what you just said? The NBA is like what, Taco Bell and the WWE now?
Correct.
Well, my God.
It is. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like they get to carry They get to
Exactly.
travel.
So that version
They
of
get to put their
that
hand
version
over the
of
ball.
basketball is not the real deal. So when you're judging which player is better, you can't take it the way the NBA is providing it to you. You can't look at it through the lenses of the NBA. You have to be able to see beyond that.
Yeah, but what
the
good is that
NBA
going to do?
the NBA is giving us a bastardized version of basketball, and they're also handpicking who their stars are, and they're giving them star calls, and that's pretty much what it is. Like you got to be able to see beyond that. I can see how good Kevin Durant is, but I can also see that the league is not marketing him anymore, so he doesn't have the push from the NBA to help him out. So there was a guy we're never gonna see Kevin Durant in the finals ever again.
No. He ain't going there. He ain't not going there. And he's got 3 top tier players.
Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna take this other phone call, brother man. Thanks for calling.
All right, but I got one more question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you see the future of the NBA going then?
To hell, probably.
Like not WNBA hell.
No, I'm talking about like so it's gonna be a new league that rises up, and it's gonna compete with the NBA, and the NBA is gonna have a choice. Either they're gonna change the way they're doing things and probably try to buy that league out, or the other league is gonna end up taking over and being.
That's where you see it going?
I do, yeah. It has to go there.
All right.
Because we've already took the NBA up to its highest plateau.
Well, we took the ABA over.
Right. We've already reached our peak of NBA. It's on the way. It's on a decline now.
It's been on decline since Jordan left.
Of course. So it's going to hell. It's got to stop. Like the bubble's going to bust at some point. Right now, the money just keeps expanding. They get more and more money every year. They're doing a good job as a business to grab more money, but the product is trash. Right? It's like when Red Bull came out, and I remember I used to drink Red Bull, and I would have that baking soda on my hammer all night, but then they watered Red Bull down. The NBA is watered down now. It don't give you the same effect anymore. Right.
Yeah,
so,
you know what? I hate that I agree with you so much, but I love it too. The love-hate thing going on.
But all right, man. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, bro. All right. Yep. Have a good one.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So back to my analogy of Taco Bell. The NBA is a bastardized version of basketball. Right. Basketball can be seen in its purest form in a lot of different areas. It can be seen in college. It can be seen on the street. It can be seen in the WNBA. It can be seen in women's basketball. It can be seen in Europe. It can be seen in the Olympics. Right. What the NBA is giving us is not the best. Like this is not pure cocaine. This has been cut so many different times. This don't even get you high no more, but they're still selling it and getting the same. A kilo is a kilo, so you getting the same amount of money. So they're making money, business is booming, but your things ain't getting high no more because you're cutting the coke too many times. That's what the NBA is. Pure basketball is here. NBA is pure basketball cut several different times, probably 6 times. Right. So that's what you have. You have a bastardized version of Coke. So when someone asks me who's the top 5 players in the NBA, I'm not looking at it from the NBA lens. I'm looking at it from pure basketball. So my top 5 is going to look different from yours, because what you're going to do is take their stats and say, yeah, this guy's averaging 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he's got to be the best. But I'm not grading him based on what he can do in the NBA, because the NBA is trash. Why would you grade him based on what he can do in the NBA? You have to look at his game and see what he can and can't do, and you can't rely on the stats to tell you what you're seeing. So when I see a player, and I know that basketball has to be played on both ends of the floor, and I see one player that's not playing the other end, how can I put him over a player that's playing as well as he is on the offensive end, but doubling him on the defensive end? How can I put a player above him that's not playing the defensive end at all? That don't even make sense. But just because the NBA allowed him to get 34.99, that means I gotta put him above somebody. No, stats don't mean crap in this league. because they created the league for them to get those stats, and they're making it okay for you not to play defense. That's not basketball. That's NBA. So if you was at a Mexican, you had a Mexican friend, and your Mexican tell me, hey man, tell me your best top 5 Mexican dishes, and you name 5 Taco Bell dishes, that Mexican friend will go be like, hell nah, that's not in my top 5. Because they know a better brand of Mexican food than Taco Bell. The NBA is Taco Bell. The NBA is that Coke cut 6 times. The NBA is WWE, right? So you got to get to the pureness of it, man. All right, Carla, what's up?
Yo, I just wanted to build upon what you were saying. I commented on one of your videos about why some of the younger international representatives in basketball struggle against international competition because FIBA rules aren't the same as NBA rules.
Correct.
And those guys soon realize that they're not able to get away with the same things that they're able to get away with in an NBA game, and they end up struggling. That's why players like Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, certain other guys in the newer eras like really excel in the Olympics and in international competition because they were truly skilled and they understood the game of basketball. Kobe had to go over there and teach them dudes how to compete on an international level at one point, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what makes a skilled player. People think that skill comes down to just like who could do the fanciest dribble moves or who could do the fanciest passes or whatever. And that's definitely a component of skill. But somebody like Larry Bird, who didn't have a bag as far as his handle, he knew how to dribble this, and he knew how to see the floor. He knew how to flick his wrist and throw that pass. He had so many different skills within the confines of basketball. That's a skilled player. And I think sometimes with Kyrie Irving, just to get on point, people say that he's the most skilled, and they're only talking about one aspect of the skill that he has, which would be his handles and his layup package. But when you see how this dude sees the floor and knows how to turn the switch on and off as far as I'm going to be a distributor right now, I'm going to score when I have to, that's skills.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I'm definitely with you on that.
Right. And, there's a lot of people who are skilled that get left out of those conversations because the parameters that people put on it is like, yeah, this dude had the sickest handles, this dude could do this and that. But they're not looking at overall basketball skills. And just like you were talking about earlier there's some superior athletes, but a lot of them dudes, Hot Rod Williams and, dudes who can jump high, they was ratting benches back in the day. Like, a lot of these dudes got the space to do what they want to do.
Correct.
And that's not skill, that's athletic ability.
Correct. That's track and field right there.
Yeah, like somebody like Sean Kemp, like his athletic ability was so superior, but then he also had game.
Correct.
Once he stopped working on his game and his athletic ability went away, then he was gone.
He was done.
But if he would have worked on his game, he would have had a longer career.
Correct.
Because he already had skills.
When Sean Kemp got fat and couldn't jump out the gym no more, he wasn't that useful. When Van Baker got fat or when Derek Coleman got fat, they were still skilled.
Yep.
They could still go. So like you said, the floor is wide open right now. So you can be great with just track and field attributes, speed, power, athleticism. You can be a top 75 player like in Westbrook's case with just speed, athleticism, and jumping ability. That's it.
Yeah, because in reality, like you said, man, the skill part of basketball is like a dying art. And it's like people don't understand the difference between athletic ability and skills. Like, people need to watch more other leagues of basketball and high-level competition from other countries. And, because a lot of the guys who maybe couldn't cut it or got a little bit older and went to other countries, they talk about how much they actually like playing basketball over there because of the way the game is played.
You know who the leading scorer is in Euroball?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Yeah, Mike James, right?
Mike James. And he was on the Brooklyn Nets. He's one of Kevin Durant's best friends. He was on the Brooklyn Nets some years ago. But I was watching the video when they was breaking down the European GOAT. And when they started going down the list, Mike James was on that list. But all the players who was in that conversation, they were averaging, I'll let you guess, how much you think they was averaging as far as points a game?
Probably like 11 to 14, I'll say.
You're right. I think the highest I seen was probably 16 points a game.
Yeah, but stats don't make you a better player, bro.
Exactly. I just want people to let that sink in. They had a GOAT. They got a video and they did a GOAT list, and all the GOATs was averaging about 16 points or less.
You do it in the amount of games that you're allotted to play in your season. You do it in the amount of time that's allotted for you to play during that specific game. Not every league of basketball plays 48 minutes and 82 games.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's, I think, I don't like the fact that it's very hard to get a European game over here, but I think that's the NBA wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want us to be able to easily stream or for them to show a European game on ESPN.
To be able to compare and contrast so easily.
Correct, but guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to show their game. They're trying to show NBA games over there.
Yeah, because they want to create a culture where their brand of basketball is seen as the best brand of basketball, which, you know what I mean? Like, hey, don't drink Pepsi, drink Coke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's advertising. It's business. That's what they do. They try to consume everything. It's just like with hip hop, right? Nowadays you can find decent underground hip hop on YouTube and everything if you like that kind of thing. But back in the day, you would have to know somebody, go to a record store, actually listen to stuff that wasn't on the radio to actually get something that spoke to your palate. And that was by design. And it's the same thing kind of with basketball and with sports in general. Yeah,
I'm with you.
Like the American system don't want people seeing like the good foreign boxers. They want to always put the American boxers on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's all types of great fighters all over the world. Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's business. But, people need to understand that just because Luka Doncic has the space to do all that stuff and dribble the air off the ball doesn't make him more skilled than somebody who could take 3 dribbles, get to their spot, and score.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Period. But man, thanks, man. Thanks for the great content.
All right, man. No doubt, man. Thanks for the call.
Peace.
All right. That's the show. This is as long as I ever went. I've never went 4 hours, man. But I took some calls and talked too long on some of those calls, and some of those calls was DC Slim Super Chat. Thanks, man. Basketball will be back. It'll fix itself. It's still a great sport, of course. I mean, basketball is. I wouldn't talk about it so much if I wasn't addicted to it. I'm addicted to it. But I tell you one thing, if a league showed up and gave me a better version of basketball that's closer to the pureness of it, without it being cut so many times, without so much baking soda, if I could get that version of basketball, I'll watch that over the NBA. I'm not stuck on the NBA. It's almost like when everybody switched from NBA Live to 2K years ago. NBA Live was on that BS. They put out 6 games in a row where they ain't even make no changes except to the roster. The same graphics 6 years in a row. One year, my friend we grabbed Live, and I was already on 2K before him, and he was like, I can't jump on 2K yet. I'm still on Live. And what made him actually jump on 2K is he got the new Live one day, and he was playing, and he said Tony Parker came and windmilled on him. Wow, that's not realistic, right? So if you give me fake basketball, rigged basketball, unrealistic basketball, you done made gambling legal, and you in bed with Vegas, So we know the game's fixed. You doing all this crazy stuff. You marketing players that we know ain't good. You pushing them on us, and then you cutting the Coke too many times with too much baking soda, and not giving us the pureness of the game. People's going to start turning away from them and looking for something better, right? So you can't hold pure basketball down long. Eventually, something's going to come up. Someone's going to create another league. Ice Cube already got the big three, but it's only 3-on-3. Why the NBA won't let Ice Cube work with any other sponsors that they deal with? They're blocking them. Like, if you're already dealing with the NBA, they don't want you to do business with the big three of Ice Cube, and they don't want to help Ice Cube either, because they see the potential. They know that they have it's a chink in the armor of their game right now, and right now they're vulnerable. Teams, other leagues can rise up and actually take over if they wanted to, and they don't want to help nobody overtake them. And I think the big three with Ice Cube is a Trojan horse. I think they can come in as a 3-on-3 league, but I think eventually, if people really got smart, if people would have did what Kyrie Irving suggested during the bubble, and if everybody would have hopped off the ship, they could have went for their own league. And the league already existed with the big three. Think about that power shift if they would have did that. Right? So Kyrie was onto something. Right? And the NBA, yeah, they're in trouble if they don't fix what we're watching. We don't like it. I mean, DC Slim is saying we got to stop complaining, but we don't like it. What are you supposed to do when you don't like something? Just accept it? No. You know, I mean, it's a little disrespectful to say we're complaining. We're telling you, no, we don't like this product. We still supporting it because it's the only form of professional basketball we can watch over here very easily. So we're trying to support it. We're trying to tell you what we don't like. We've been telling you for years, stop pushing stop pushing LeBron on us. We don't think he's what you're saying he is. Stop it. We'll watch the games. We love him. We want to enjoy him play. He's a good player. We want to see it. But stop forcing this conversation down our throat, man. Like, we don't want to keep having this GOAT debate with somebody that we don't think belong in the conversation. Stop telling us Kobe wasn't good. Stop lying about that. Stop forcing Luka on us. Stop trying to blackball Kyrie Irving. Stop doing that BS. Call the game fair. Give us pure basketball again. So, I mean, you do those things and like, don't nobody want to sit here and just watch you just keep giving us this crap product. Eventually, we go jump from live to 2K. We just need somebody to start and create 2K. So, that's it, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me for this long 4 hours. I won't take y'all on this roller coaster ride for 4 hours again, man. This still is a 2-hour show, 2.5 hours max. So I really gave y'all 2 shows tonight. I gave y'all 2 shows tonight, man. And I need to go and eat. Right. So so I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the super chats. Shout out to all the members again. Everybody that's a member, text the number that was on the screen. Text that number with your name so I can save all our members in this phone, because I want to start inviting y'all on the full panel on Fridays to do at least one segment with us, right? So so members, text me your name. I save you in there, and then I start grabbing you. I think the first one I want to invite on is Mikey Brass, because he was our first member. So Mikey Brass, if you're still watching it, man, you'll be the first one up. We'll try to get you on here for a segment on Friday, possibly this Friday if we can set it up fast enough. But yeah, all the members, shoot me a text, send me your name. Thank everybody for watching. Thanks for all the call-ins. Thanks for the super chats. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.